Welcome to another episode of Driven by Purpose with me, Armin Jamula. We talk about stories of women entrepreneurs who don't only succeed in their line of work, but also succeed in inspiring others. One such woman is here today with me, and she has been running a very successful wellness business and studio, Dina Zoa. Welcome, Dina. How are you today?
Thank you, Armin. Thank you for having me. As you were introducing me, I'm like, is that me?
It is you.
I think I'm blushing now. Thank you so much. It's beautiful to see women supporting other women, and you're one of them.
Thank you very much. How has your business come about, and what has been your purpose? Tell us your story from the beginning. I think I want to know. I'm very interested.
Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. I grew up as a competitive gymnast, and all my life has been about gymnastics, even though I couldn't complete the school because I had an injury. But I've continued to take it with me throughout my whole life. And at some point, I thought that, my life purpose would be different, but it was always bringing me back to what I really loved and to my passion. For someone who doesn't know, I also hold a master's in petroleum engineering, and I have a chemical engineering bachelor degree back in the days.
I wouldn't know.
I know.
Such a different path
so
to have
different,
taken.
yeah.
But I think you went back to your childhood passion, didn't you?
I did. I never saw it as something that will bring me money or something that will be like my everyday work, because that was the enjoyment for me. I was stretching myself every day. I was stretching my friends. I loved sports from the very childhood. So I was always preaching to all my friends, like, you have to take care of your nutrition, you have to get your workouts in, you have to stretch. And then I realized that this is what I'm doing every day without any compensation, without any even positive feedback. I'm just putting it there in the world. I have energy to put it there in the world without even zero support. And I'm like, yeah, this is what I should be doing, because if I see the response, then I'm gonna increase my efforts, and that's how it's gonna propel it even to brighter future. And I was in Dubai looking for a job as a petroleum engineer, and then at some point
Wow.
which was very challenging because it's a very male-dominated industry.
It is. We talk about STEM, but energy is another one that is absolutely dominated by men.
It is. Yeah. Even though they tell you that now they start hiring, that's honestly, like, that's only on the paper, but I faced the reality, and reality was different.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking that I need to do something else. I cannot just focus on this to favor my family, or other people. And I've started coaching and teaching stretching to people. At first, because it's been so many years, I wasn't comfortable, so I took my friends, and I was inviting just everyone that I know, and I was like, hey, hello, I'm a stretching coach now, which was very difficult mentally as well, coming from saying on social media that I'm an engineer and I have this degree, and then I'm like, I'm a coach. And some people, they have their own opinion about different industries. They wouldn't take you serious, or they would just say, oh, it's your small thing, they would not support. So I did that, and it just boomed directly. I wouldn't say that it was luck, because I still had to work hard for it. But as I was doing things were happening, when you just decide to take a certain path and all the doors are open. And that's how I felt. Wow. And the next step was for me to open the physical locations, which has happened successfully. It's definitely a new challenge. It's been a learning curve for me, but I love what I do, and that helps me to keep going.
So, Dina, what comes to my mind right now is a similar story. I think that's what I did as well. And I think that's where most purpose-driven businesses or entrepreneurial journeys start from. it was supposedly going to be a side hustle for you or just an interim way to make money, right?
Yeah.
And then it went mainstream. When was that pivotal moment where you said, now I want to take the plunge and I'm going to leave my, so to speak, educational career or career that I think is going to make me millions aside, but I'm going to do this? When was that?
It was, I think, after 6 months, I started freelancing as a stretching coach. It's true. When I just started, I was like, I'm going to do it for some time or I'm going to try it out. I still wasn't sure. I still was going to interviews in oil and gas industry and looking for other jobs. And I wasn't 100% in it. And then the moment it happened is when I started getting feedback from people, and people were like, you know, it's amazing, you should be doing it. I started getting response online. I think COVID time was amazing for me because I grew my community online as well.
Yeah.
I had like 80 people stretching with me from all over the world.
Wow.
Because everyone was in lockdown at home and everyone had free time. So I was doing free live sessions on my Instagram for 30 days.
Wow.
It's called Split Challenge, and it was so successful and definitely put my brand on the map at those times. And I think that was the confirmation for me, like, you know, you're working hard and it's happening. This is what you should be doing. You shouldn't knock in closed doors for something that's not for you.
Yeah. So that's amazing. So Dina, you have definitely carved a niche for yourself in the healthcare industry, and a very dynamic one, a unique one per se. To start us off and start the conversation off on the topic that we are going to delve into, could you share some common challenges as a female entrepreneur that you face or have faced, and how have you navigated those in your current journey of being an entrepreneur of Stretch.com?
Okay, speaking about women challenges in entrepreneurship, honestly, I don't speak about it that much because I don't let it define me as an entrepreneur, you know?
Sure.
But it's good to speak about it because I think also women were built that way. We don't complain or we don't speak about, we just keep it all inside.
Yeah.
And we just, you know, put up with anything. Because we want to prove ourselves. We have to do more than men, definitely. So the challenges that I faced are, honestly, I was blessed because I didn't have that many challenges. Now, when I have a community of women entrepreneurs and my friends and my whole surrounding has changed, I'm hearing so many stories and I'm seeing that my story is not that bad because a lot of my friends, they face gender inequality, funding issues, what else? What else is there? Definitely balancing life and work, and like so many other things, right? Not being supported by other women and by men in general, many of them. For me, I think the biggest issue that I had is balancing work and life.
Was it?
Yeah, it's still till this day because when you love what you do, you don't count hours.
You don't.
You just get carried away with the process, and sometimes you're just like, oh, it's 9 p.m. You know, and I didn't have dinner with my husband today, and our relationship are built in the way that we always care for each other, and we're trying to spend time together. And that make me feel guilty every day. I'm sure you understand, and you have kids, so it's even worse, I'm sure.
I do. So that has been one of the biggest challenges for you, huh? Work-life balance, let's say.
It was, yeah.
Very interesting. In the initial stages, how would you have done things differently when you look back? Because this is a question that you have kind of reflected on and you've answered right now, that you didn't have or didn't do that. Would you change anything right now from what you did in the beginning?
Well, I think in terms of this challenge.
Exactly, in this challenge specifically.
In the work-life balance.
Yes, because, you know, the reason I'm asking you this is, and we're segueing again. But it's very interesting to, have heard what you just said. At some point in the entrepreneur's journey, one looks back and thinks, Yeah, I know this was one of my biggest challenges, which you've highlighted right now. How could I have dealt with it better to have been at possibly a different or a more improved state of mind or state of existence now? Is there any reflection there?
Honestly, I don't think how I could have make it better, because the load I wouldn't had to sacrifice either one or the other, which is impossible.
Yeah.
And I know that I've done everything I could to make sure I'm a good wife, I'm a good boss,
Yeah.
and my business is there as well. I think I couldn't have done this better.
That's amazing. And that is where I would say is the determination comes from. A lot of women sometimes have so many regrets of how they've been through the journey, but it shouldn't be regretful. It should just be, this is how I could do it, and I don't think I want to look back at it. I just want to see how I can improve from this point on and wherever I am, because every single day is a new day for us, right?
Yeah.
Just yesterday I posted something about it was a reel about HR and how employee personalities are different. But as entrepreneurs, those personalities are within us, and we have to deal with those individually, probably in a cycle of 24 hours, don't we? So we have to take it as we go.
Exactly. We wear many hats.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's an amazing answer. Thank you for sharing that.
It's honestly, like, I agree with you with the regret feeling, because I think women were more emotional and we're more compassionate towards people, towards things that we do. I think men, they can just be like cutthroat, no emotions, and it's so many times it go against us. But I think this is the way we are, and I also learned to accept it. When I hear someone at work say, "Oh, she's emotional, she's woman," I don't take it as offensive as I used to anymore.
Interesting.
And I'm just like, yeah, so
so be it.
Exactly.
So be it. Yeah. It is a lot of EQ that is getting infused today in the entrepreneurial world, thanks to us, but then that's making it more human, I would say.
Exactly.
And that is required today with everything that's going around. So very insightful, Dina. Thank you so much for that. I want to come into, paying it forward, or mentoring and supporting other women, supporting the community, supporting networks. It's often vital as an entrepreneur yourself to do that, to uplift other women. How important have these been for you, and what advice would you give to women seeking to build support in the same line of work that you are in?
So since I've started, because I always like to make change, and since I've started my business, I knew from the start that supporting other women will be one of my purposes in this business.
Lovely.
And I've been hiring a lot of women, I've been promoting a lot of women, and I was trying to do my best to empower everyone.
Yeah.
And nowadays, when I have friends entrepreneurs who start their own business, I'm trying to support them with first the advice, because this is very important, a word of support, to help them with self-doubt, with self-confidence, and everyone knows that they can always reach out to me, and I will never say no. I will never be like, oh, my consultation is this amount per hour, you have to pay me. No, I'll always help with the advice. I'll meet up with pleasure, because I wish there was a person like this for me when I was just starting.
Yeah, we all do, don't we?
Exactly, exactly. And secondly, because I also believe actions speak louder than words, I help with them. Sorry. I always think that actions speak louder than words. So that at the studio we're organizing events and we're doing a lot of workshops. So I always invite local brands and women-owned brands to participate in the event and help them to grow their brand. We do collaborations, and especially now I'm trying to use the strength and power of its social media and brand to uplift other women and make the brands visible.
Bring them awareness as well through your channels. That's beautiful. We all somewhere or the other do that all the time, and it's brilliant. So in many sectors, female entrepreneurs are breaking traditional gender barriers. And one of those is the sector that you were trying to build a career in, wasn't it? In what ways do you see this unfolding? Not only in your personal experience, because I know that you have a very personal experience of, hunting for jobs which you didn't get, or you weren't happy with whatever you could have got. But what opportunities do you see now? For the present generation in those sectors that were wildly unavailable to women?
Well, I definitely see that women are more empowered. There's no one who can tell them you can't do this. I think nowadays, in general, not only women, people know that they can be anything and they can do anything.
Yeah.
And businesses also became, as you said before, like purpose businesses, and people actually prefer that. So people even create concepts which has never been there on the market. You don't need to just, go the same path your parents did.
Yeah.
And speaking of new generation, because I'm coming from the very traditional country, I'm from Kazakhstan. So in, let's say, 100 years back, or even less, women, they couldn't get proper education, and they would, just be at home, take care of the family. And now it's changing a lot.
Yeah.
And we had different role models, our grandmothers, they would, prioritize us learning how to cook and clean at home rather than chasing what we love to do, or knowledge and, taking risks. Like, they would prefer us to stay home and get married successfully. And I think we are showing them that it's actually possible for you to move to a foreign country, to build yourself from zero. And we never know who we're empowering, especially with social media nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's very rewarding to see other women resonating with us.
Indeed, it is. It is. And it's a different world. But you come from Kazakhstan, and it is a different culture still there.
Yeah.
Would you explore or think about, or have you thought about expanding your business there as of now? Or what's your take on that?
I definitely did. Several people told me that. I left Kazakhstan around 12 years ago. So I think if I do that, I will still need to study the market.
Yeah.
But I had a couple of people message me because we have a franchise right now. We're building a franchise package for Stretch.com. So I've been obviously posting about it on social media, and several people told me that they love to see the way I am in my own environment when I'm at the studios, and they like the vibe, and they will be interested to take it to Kazakhstan, and that they have a market for it. So I would love to do it, but I think I still need to do some market research on real estate and the location and the target audience, and then why not?
Yeah, why not, right? Amazing. I think I have one last question about its survey and your association with us. We've been, we've done a few events with you. We've done, interactions with you. What do you feel about its survey, and where do you want us to go next with what we're doing?
Okay, so far I felt very supported by the community. As I told you earlier, you did an amazing job, and you continue doing it every day. You very, the way you build it is very supportive, but also organized at the same time. Very on point and everything. I know that several times, even being carried away with everyday work, I forget to reach out about any event happening in the studio, and you reaching out to me, and you're like, you have to send me the list, that you keep us accountable. Even though you're managing the whole community, but you think of everyone as an individual in particular. And definitely as an entrepreneur, I see that, and I appreciate that a lot. And the couple of events that we had at the studio, it was very insightful. It was very nice to meet women. We still follow each other on Instagram, and we talk and discuss some topics.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, some of them became clients of our studios. So you're definitely connecting people, women, entrepreneurs, and you're doing a huge, huge, huge job, which I'm sure not every time get reciprocated to you, and I'm sure that at times you feel like it's you're just giving a lot of energy, a lot of time, but you're doing great. And I'm very grateful to be a part of It's Her Way community.
Thank you. You're going to make me cry now. But thank you so much for taking out the time, Dina. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. It's like you're very. I think you were meant to do what you're doing right now, from my side, from where I see. And I've met quite a few thousand women entrepreneurs in my fortunate career with It's Her Way. And one of the things that brings me back to you and what I want to share with you is you somewhere your inner child came about in a very, very vivid way when you started Stretch. And you started it with, just being it as a side hustle. But the way you've brought it alive is your true purpose. And I don't think you should do anything else. And I don't think, you will be happy doing anything else as well. I really see that. And I'm grateful to have you as a member on It's Her Way, and grateful to have you as a person that I can reach out to.
Yeah, I have goosebumps. Now you're going to make me cry.
But it is purpose. It just comes out in so many different ways, vivid ways. You were, as a child, inclined towards what you're doing right now. Many stories like that I've seen. And those stories are the ones that drive purpose, which is why I thought of starting one of the episodes with you today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming and doing this for me.
Thank you for having me today. Honestly, it's not with everyone that you can have such an open conversation. And you made me comfortable. Your energy made me comfortable. So it's you who is the core of everything here today. It's not me.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So we're going to wrap this up.
Sure.
Cheers.